Shalom, Gabe Greenberg here, Rabbi of Congregation Beth Israel in New Orleans, coming to you as usual from the banks of the Mississippi River. This weekend we are going to be commemorating Tisha B'Av, the 9th of Av, which is the saddest day in the Jewish calendar. Our tradition tells us it was on this day throughout the millennia that a series of tragic events befell the Jewish people. The first temple was destroyed in the 6th century before the Common Era by the Babylonians. The second temple in Jerusalem was destroyed in the 1st century of the Common Era by the Romans, and one less than 100 years later, the Great Bar Kokhba revolt against the Romans was crushed also on this day, the 9th of Av. However, it's a different event that happened on Tisha B'Av that I want to mention right now, and that is in the year 1095, according to Jewish tradition, Pope Urban II launched what would become the First Crusade, which wreaked havoc and destruction throughout Europe and into what is today Israel. I'm reminded of this event standing here next to the Mississippi because it was another important river in history which figured in so centrally to the events of the Crusades, and that was the Rhine River that went throughout Europe. The Crusaders followed the Rhine throughout the Holy Roman Empire of the time, and where they encountered Jews in large cities, various things could occur, whether it was forced conversions, extortion, or most violently, murder. The image of the river doesn't just find its way into Tisha B'Av history having to do with the Rhine, but it also finds its way into Tisha B'Av liturgy. That is in what is probably the most famous of songs, of keynote lamentations, which emerges from the Tisha B'Av corpus, Elitzion. Elitzion is sung in many congregations on Tisha B'Av day. At Beth Israel, we sing it at night as well. And there's just a couple of lines I want to share with you describing Jerusalem's rivers and how at this point they flow not with water, but according to the metaphor, like blood. Ale galut misharte el man ime shir zimareha vi'al damam asher shupach kamo meme yeoreha. For the exile of the servants of God who sweetly sang the song of Jerusalem's praise, and for their blood that was spilt in the waters of her rivers. As I stand beside this most holy of rivers, the Mississippi, causes us to reflect, think about the great Jewish past, and this weekend in particular with Tisha B'Av, we think about its sad, its really dreadful moments, and I invite you to remember with me those which took place particularly by water. This is Gabe Greenberg signing off from the banks of the Mississippi River. Shenishma b'sorot tovot. We should only hear good news.